I have a 12 kW Onan diesel generator that dies after it runs for 30 minutes up to 2 hours. All gauges are normal and it doesn't flash any codes. I can restart it right away, it will run for another 30 minutes to 2 hours and die again. I thought it was the lift pump, so I bypassed it with an auxiliary pump and it did the same thing. This generator is at a fishing cabin, so it's hard to get a mechanic to get down there. Any thoughts on what it could be? Thanks, Eric.
What's the make and model of the generator? And can you guesstimate how old it is?
Model no. 12 CAD 2209A, I would guess 13 years old.
Do you plan on doing the work yourself?
If it is something simple.
Anything else we should know to help you best?
It has 2,400 hours and is close to salt water.
Hello, my name is. I am going to assist you with this. If the genset is shutting itself down, it is flashing a code. You may just not be reading it right. Go to the genset and use the switch on the set itself. Press stop 3 times within 5 seconds. The light in the switch will start flashing. If the light flashes 3 times, pauses for 3 seconds, and flashes 3 more times, press and immediately release stop 1 more time. This will put the controller into fault read mode. The light will flash X number of times, pause for 1 second, and flash for X number of times again. Count the flashes before and after the pause. This will be the fault code. Example, 2 rapid flashes, 1 second pause, 5 rapid flashes is a fault code 25. There may be more than one fault code stored, so watch the light very carefully. If there is more than one code, it will display them all in order, and then start over again. Be very careful not to misread a first-level fault code, single-digit code, as a second-level fault code, double-digit code. The way to tell the difference is by the length of the pauses. There is a 1 second pause between digits of a second-level code, and a 3 seconds pause between codes. For example, if it is flashing 2 times, 1 second pause, flashing 2 times, 3 seconds pause and repeating, then this is a second-level fault code of 22. If it is flashing 2 times, 3 seconds pause, flashing 2 times, 3 seconds pause and repeating, then this is a first-level fault code of 2. What fault code are you getting? I have made a short video of how to do this. It is only about 2 minutes long and may help. Click here to watch the video. Without knowing the fault code, it is extremely hard to say what the problem is. But start with the basics, make sure the air filter is good. Even if it looks fine, but it is a year old or older, change it. Install a new fuel filter, and check all fuel lines carefully for signs of leakage. It does not take much of a leak to affect operation of this unit. Make sure the cant level is full. Don't just check at the expansion reservoir, check at the radiator fill cap located behind the small panel above the start/stop switch.
Unfortunately, this generator is at a fishing cabin that is an hour away by boat and there is no cell service there. Now that I know how to check for codes, I will do that next weekend. I checked for it to flash as it has once before when it overheated, but that was years ago. I have put a new fuel filter and checked the fluid levels, but the air filter is really old. Should it flash a code without me hitting the stop switch 3 times?
When the genset shuts itself down, it should be flashing a code 3 to let you know that there is a problem. It will flash the code for 5 minutes, and then shut the controller off. If you catch it while it is flashing 3 times, just press the stop button once.
Is it possible there could be some electrical short that causes it to die and that wouldn't flash a code? Because I have checked for a code and there has been no flashing. But I will try the method you described above to find the code.
No, if the unit is shutting down, it should be showing a code. Were you able to try this yet?
I went down yesterday evening and tried. First I just tried pushing stop 3 times like the video and the light came on and the lift pump started priming. Then I started it and ran it until it died. The light was flashing 3 times like you said, but when I went to push the stop button to get the codes it would stop flashing and just stay lit. I tried multiple times but never could retrieve a code.
That is very odd. On the back left corner of the genset, there is a wiring harness with an 8-pin connector coming out of the genset. Unplug the connector and try pulling the code again. Let me know what happens. Have you tried unplugging that harness yet?
This is the harness to the remote switch and gauge is correct. I tried unplugging it and checking for codes. I spent a lot of time yesterday with it. I hooked up a tank with fresh diesel, changed the air filter and put in a little injector cleaner. Same results except this time instead of the light flashing 3 times it was only flashing once, but the temp never got over 170 to 175. It sounds great when it's running and always restarts right away as long as I turn off the Perco switch and turn it back on. I feel that it has to be something electrical and a bad sensor.
You kept saying that it wasn't flashing any codes. That's what I was trying to do, was to get it to show the code. Now you are saying that it has been showing a code. A code 1 is high coolant temperature. How are you determining that the temperature never gets over 170 to 175?
In my previous response I said after it shut down it was flashing 3 times, but when I pushed stop to retrieve the codes it would just stay lit up and not flash. That was on Wednesday. Saturday when I tried it would flash once. There is a temperature gauge and oil pressure gauge on the remote switch inside the cabin. The temp never hits 175 and the oil pressure is at 50. I would think that if it was actually overheating that it would not start right away and run for another 15 minutes.
If the unit is shutting down on a code 1, but is not overheating, the temperature sending unit is bad.
I would think the same except for Wednesday it was giving me 3 flashes and when I hit stop to retrieve the codes it would just stay lit. Then when I pushed the stop button 3 times to try and retrieve the codes the lift pump started priming. Could it be a control board or faulty start/stop switch, or is the temperature sending unit the only thing that would send that code of overheating?
There is a very slim chance it would be the control board. The temp sender is by far the most likely problem. There are certain other conditions that could cause the control board to be weird like that, but without being there to see it, I doubt you met those conditions. The temp sender is also by far the less expensive part. Was this what you wanted to know?
Well, I called the local Onan dealership to get that part and they didn't have it, so I need to order one. Is the temperature sending unit located on the top right of the engine if you are looking from the service door side?
Yes, it is screwed right into the thermostat housing. There is a single wire attached to it.
Is the Onan ## generator water temp sender the part I need?
Sir, that is the correct part number. Was this what you wanted to know?
I ordered the part but it hasn't come it yet. If the temp gauge seems to be working fine but the code I'm getting is overheat, do you think the temp sending unit will correct this? Are they controlled by different sensors?
This is a variable resistor sender, so it actually is dual function. But your gauge may not be calibrated just right.
Let's say the gauge is correct and changing the temp sender doesn't fix the problem. Is there something else I can try? I'd like to go down there with other options since it is such a hard place to get down to.
If it is not the temp sender, the only other two things it can be are a shorted wire from the temp sender, or a bad controller. But in over 15 years of working on these, I have never seen a controller do this. Was this what you wanted to know?
I just got back from the cabin and installed the new temperature sending unit and got the same result. Ran for about 20 minutes and shut down, and the light was flashing once, then pausing, then flashing once, and so on. I could hit start while it was flashing and it would start right back up and run for 10 minutes or so and do the same thing over. Once again, temp never got over 175 on the gauge, and it did seem like a hot engine. Like I said before, this is at a fishing cabin, so it is in the salt air. Is there some other electrical sensor or control panel that could be bad? If you look back at our conversation a few weeks ago, it was flashing 3 times, but when I hit stop to retrieve the codes, it would just become lit up and stop flashing. And if I hit stop 3 times to see if it would flash 3 times, it would start the lift pump.
The unit should not be able to start while it is flashing a code. You should have to shut the code off first, before it will restart. And pressing stop 3 times should not turn on the fuel pump. You should have to hold the switch in the stop/prime position to get the fuel pump to run. It is possible the controller is bad. I have just never seen one do this before.
Is the controller something that the average person can replace?
Absolutely. It is just a plug-and-play device. You unplug the old one, and plug in the new one.
Okay, good, and it's called the controller. I have to order these parts because the one place I found that services them down here lost their technician, and the lady in parts isn't willing to help out.
It is called a control board. The part number is #number 03. If you have someone who is unwilling to help like that, you need to consider taking your business elsewhere. I'd let them know that.
Thanks, order one now. The lady at the parts department basically told me to try and order it elsewhere, but if I couldn't find it, to call her back and she would try to help. I will not be getting it from them.
Unless you have a Cummins/Onan distributor near you, this is the place I would recommend ordering from. http://www.partsfortex.com/osipcart/30509530 control Onan p2039.html.
Thanks. I'll use them.
Okay. Was this what you wanted to know? Hello, was this what you wanted to know?
I haven't gotten a chance to try it yet. Headed down there Friday to try it out. I sure hope it works.
Okay.
If you have a home improvement or appliance question and want to chat with an expert now, visit JustAnswer.com/YTHI.